Hello students, we are solving the IB Math EAHL past paper questions and currently we are solving the IB Math EAHL May 2023 paper 1 time zone 1 past paper. Today we'll be solving the question number 11 of this paper and you will be getting the links to all the previously solved questions of this paper and of the other papers in form of playlists in my channel NS Online Math Tutoring Classes. So without any further delay, let us start answering question number 11. The maximum mark is 19. Consider the following diagram which shows the plan of a part of a house. This is the diagram and it is saying a narrow passageway with width 3/4 meters is perpendicular to the room of width 6 meters. There is a corner at point C. Points A and B are variable points. This is A and this is B on the base of the walls such that A, C and B lie on a straight line. And let L denote the length AB in meters. So, L is equal to AC plus CB. Okay. And let alpha be the angle that AB makes with the room wall. This is the angle alpha where alpha is greater than 0 but is less than pi over 2. So it is an angle from the first quadrant. Okay. And part A's question is show that L equal to 3/4 times secant of angle alpha plus 6 times cosecant of angle alpha. Okay, since we are having the secant and cosecant, let me draw the right angle triangles first of all. Okay, let this point be named as T. And it is not a straight line, but assume it to be a straight line. This is E. Okay, fine. And this line CE is parallel to this line AD. Okay. So therefore, this angle should be equal to alpha because these two are corresponding angles. Okay. So this is also equal to alpha. And AD is having the length of 3/4 meters. And B is having a length of 6 meters. Fine. So we need the length of AC because L is equal to AC plus CB. So we need the length of AC and we need the length of CB. What will be the length of AC? See, this is known and this is the angle. This side is touching the angle and this AC is the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle ACD. So, AD over AC will be equal to cos alpha. Okay, because it is adjacent over hypotenuse. And AC is to be found out. AD is 3/4. So it is 3/4 over AC equal to cos alpha. Okay. Therefore, AC is equal to 3/4 divided by cos alpha, which is equal to 1 over cos alpha is secant alpha. So it is 3/4 times secant of angle alpha. Okay. Similarly, taking the triangle CBE, it is, we know the BE and CB is the hypotenuse. So BE over CB will be sine alpha because this is opposite. Okay. So this is sine alpha. And we know the value of BE, it is 6. So this is 6 over CB equal to sine alpha. Okay. So CB will be equal to 6 over sine alpha and 1 over sine alpha is cosecant of angle alpha. So it is 6 times cosecant alpha. So therefore, L is equal to 3/4. This is actually the subpart E is working. 3/4 times secant of angle alpha plus 6 times cosecant of angle alpha. Okay. Subpart B, it is containing two further subparts. The first subpart I is saying find dl over d alpha. That means the first derivative of L with respect to alpha, and L is having this expression. We have found this expression in subpart E. Okay, so B I L is equal to 3 over 4 sec alpha plus 6 cosec alpha. Therefore, dl over d alpha will be equal to 3 over 4 is the coefficient. Derivative of sec alpha with respect to alpha will be sec alpha tan alpha. Okay. And derivative of cosec alpha is negative cosec alpha cot alpha. So it is negative 6 cosec alpha cot alpha. Okay. So this is the expression for dl over dl alpha. Coming to subpart II, when dl over d alpha is equal to 0, that means this expression will be equal to 0. Show that alpha equal to arc tan of 2 or tan inverse of 2. Okay. So dl by d alpha is equal to 0 implies 3 over 4 sec alpha tan alpha minus 6 cosec alpha cot alpha is equal to 0. Okay. And I have to come to tan, but anyway, I am having 4 ratios. So let us convert them to sine and cos. Okay. So 3 over 4. Sec alpha is 1 over cos alpha. And tan alpha is sine alpha over cos alpha. Minus 6 cosec alpha is 1 over sine alpha times cot alpha is cos alpha over sine alpha. Sorry, sine alpha equal to 0. Okay. So it is 3 over 4 times sine alpha over cos square alpha minus 6 cos alpha over sine square alpha. This is cos square alpha in the denominator for the first term, and this is sine square alpha in the denominator for the second term. So I am taking sine square alpha cos square alpha as the common denominator for these two terms. Okay. So I am having this as 3 over 4 sine alpha, and I'm multiplying this term with sine square alpha. Sine square alpha over cos square alpha sine square alpha minus 6 cos alpha. I'm multiplying the numerator and the denominator by cos square alpha. So cos square alpha and sine square alpha cos square alpha equal to 0. Okay. Next, I am multiplying the entire equation by sine square alpha cos square alpha. Okay. So this becomes 3 over 4 sine cube alpha minus 6 cos cube alpha equal to 0. Okay. And this is a trigonometric equation having two ratios. And we always try to get a trigonometric equation with a single ratio. So let me divide the entire equation by cos cube alpha, because anyway I have to come to tan. So that is why I am dividing the entire equation by cos cube alpha. Okay. So this is 3 over 4 sine cube alpha over cos cube alpha minus 6 cos cube alpha over cos cube alpha, and 0 divided by cos cube alpha is 0. Okay. So this can be written as 3 over 4 tan cube alpha minus 6, because these two will be getting cancelled, equal to 0, or 3 over 4 tan cube alpha equal to 6, or tan cube alpha equal to 6 times 4 over 3, which is equal to 8. And taking the cube root of both the sides, it is tan cube alpha equal to 8. I am taking the cube root of both the sides to give us tan alpha equal to 2. Therefore, alpha equal to arctan of 2. Okay. I'm sorry I did not see the where I was writing. Most probably you couldn't see this part previously, but now you are being able to see. So alpha equal to arctan of 2. We have shown this. It is shown. And we come to subpart C. Again, two subparts. I is saying find the second derivative of L with respect to alpha. The first derivative was this. Okay. So C I d2L over d alpha square, the second derivative. I'm not copying this expression once more. It is over here. And I have to use the product rule. Okay. So it is 3 over 4. If I differentiate sec alpha, I'll be getting sec alpha and tan alpha times by tan alpha. So sec alpha tan alpha times tan alpha is sec alpha tan square alpha. And plus this time I am differentiating tan alpha. Derivative of tan alpha is sec square alpha. So sec square alpha times sec alpha is sec to the power of 3 alpha. Okay. Minus 6. Again, the product rule. First of all, I am differentiating cosec alpha. The derivative of cosec alpha is negative cosec alpha cot alpha times by cot alpha. So it will be negative cosec alpha and cot square alpha. Okay. And the derivative of cot alpha will be negative cosec square alpha. Negative cosec square alpha times cosec alpha is negative cosec cube alpha. I cannot simplify this expression much. Anyway, I'm writing it. 3 over 4 sec alpha tan square alpha plus 3 over 4 sec to the power of 3 alpha minus times minus is plus. So plus 6 cosec alpha cot square alpha and plus 6 cosec to the power of 3 alpha. Okay. Fine. And when alpha equal to arctan of 2, alpha is an angle from the first quadrant. It is arctan of 2. Show that the second derivative expression will be having this value, 45 over 4 times root 5. Okay. So, let me just do some calculation over here. Okay. Alpha equal to arctan of 2, which is tan inverse of 2, I can write. Therefore, tan alpha equal to 2. Okay. And what is tan alpha? It is opposite over adjacent. Okay. So 2 can be written as 2 over 1. So if I have this right angle triangle, this may be the angle alpha. So this is opposite and this is adjacent. If this side is having the length of 2 and this side is having the length of 1, then tan alpha will be equal to 2. Okay. So now if this side is having a length of 2 and this side is having a length of 1, what will be the length of the hypotenuse? It will be square root of 2 squared plus 1 squared. That is 4 plus 1, which is equal to root 5. Okay. So therefore, because we need sec alpha, cosec alpha and all. So cot alpha. Therefore, now we can find the values of every ratio. So sec alpha is 1 over cos alpha. First of all, let us find cos alpha. Cos alpha is equal to 1 over root 5. Therefore, sec alpha will be equal to root 5. Okay. Sin alpha is equal to 2 over root 5. Therefore, cosec alpha will be equal to root 5 over 2. And cot alpha is equal to, these two are in the same line. Let me rewrite this. Cot alpha will be equal to tan alpha equal to 2, cot alpha equal to half. Okay, we have got all the values. We'll be substituting. So I, it is d2L by d alpha square is equal to 3 over 4. Sec alpha is root 5. Tan square alpha, tan alpha is 2. So tan square alpha is 4. These two will be getting cancelled. Plus 3 over 4. Sec cube alpha. Sec alpha is root 5. So sec cube alpha means root 5 times root 5 times root 5. Root 5 times root 5 is 5 times root 5 is 5 root 5. Okay. Plus 6 cosec alpha root 5 over 2. Cot square alpha. Cot alpha is half. Cot square alpha is 1 over 4. Plus 6 times cosec cube alpha. Cosec alpha is root 5 over 2. So root 5 over 2 times root 5 over 2 times root 5 over 2. So the numerator is 5 root 5 and 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay. Fine. So I can cancel these two. And this is 3 and this is 4. Okay. So this can be written as root 5 times 3. Okay. 3 root 5. 3 root 5. And this is plus 15 over 4 root 5. Okay. And this one is plus 3 over 4 root 5. And finally, it is 15 over 4 root 5. Okay. So this is equal to 15 over 4 root 5 and 15 over 4 root 5 will be 30 over 4 root 5. So 30 over 4 root 5, and this is 3 root 5 and this is 3 over 4 root 5. 3 root 5 can be written as 12 over 4 root 5. Okay, so 12 over 4 root 5 and 3 over 4 root 5. 12 plus 3 is 15 over 4. 12 plus 3 is 15 over 4. 30 plus 15 is 45. 45 over 4 root 5. What is the value that is given to us? 45 over 4 root 5. Okay. So this is the value of the second derivative. Subpart D. It is containing two further subparts. I is hence justified. Hence means we had found the value of the second derivative when alpha was equal to arctan of 2 as 45 over 4 times root 5. Okay. So hence justify that L is a minimum when alpha equal to arctan of 2. Okay. So since the second derivative, that is d2L over d alpha squared, is equal to 45 over 4 times root 5, that is greater than 0, when alpha equal to arctan of 2. Therefore, L is a minimum. L is a minimum. Subpart II. Fine. Determine this minimum value of L, and the expression for L was this. So L is equal to 3 over 4 sec alpha plus 6 cosec alpha. This is equal to, we had found the values of sec alpha and cosec alpha. Sec alpha is root 5 and cosec alpha is root 5 over 2. Okay. So it is, I can write L min. Okay. 3 over 4 times sec alpha is root 5 plus 6 times cosec alpha is root 5 over 2. Okay. And if I want to make the denominator as 4, I can multiply this term, the numerator and the denominator, by 2. So this becomes 3 root 5 over 4 plus 12 root 5 over 4, which is equal to 15 root 5 over 4. This is paper 1, so we cannot use the calculator and give the answer in decimal number. So this is the answer. Okay. Okay. So we have completed subpart D. Two people need to carry a pole of length 11.25 meters from the passageway into the room. It must be carried horizontally. Subpart E says determine whether this is possible, giving a reason for your answer. It contains 2 marks. Okay. So obviously, if 11.25 is more than 15 root 5 over 4, it will not be possible. So what we have to find out is whether 11.5 is less than 15 root 5 over 4 or more than 15 root 5 over 4. It is a paper 1 question, so we will not be having the calculator. We have to find some way in which we can determine which one is more. Okay. So it is E. Fine. I am trying to write this 11.25 in form of a fraction because this is in form of a fraction. So 1125 over 100, and this is equal to I'm dividing the numerator and the denominator by 5. It is 20. And this one is 2 and then 2 and then 5. Again, I am dividing the numerator and the denominator by 5. Okay. It is 4 and this one is 4 and 5. Okay. There's no common factor between these two terms, so we stop. Fine. And this is 15 root 5 over 4. The denominator is 4. That is fine. This is fine. So let us subtract. Okay. And if we see that we are subtracting, therefore 45 over 4 minus 15 root 5 over 4. If this is a positive number, if the difference is a positive number, that will be suggesting that 11.25 is more than 15 root 5 over 4. In that case, the pole cannot be carried. But if the difference is a negative number, that means 11.25 will be less than 15 root 5 over 4. In that case, it will be possible. Okay, so let us find the difference. Let us find whether it is a positive number or a negative number. Okay. So, this is equal to, obviously the denominator will be 4 and 45 is what? It is 9 times 5. Okay. And this one is 3 times 5. And there is this root 5. Fine. Fine. So, I am taking this for 15 outside. 15 outside. So, 15 times 3 is 45. Okay. And this is root 5. So, 15 is a positive number, 4 is a positive number. So, 15 divided by 4 will be a positive number. What about this part within the bracket? Root 5. What will be the value of root 5? We do not know the exact value of root 5. It is an irrational number. But we know that it will be more than 2 because 2 is root 4. And it will be less than 3 because root 9 is 3. Okay. So, since root 5 is more than 2 but less than 3, therefore 3 minus root 5 will be greater than 0. Okay. So 15 over 4 times 3 minus root 5 is greater than 0, which implies 11.25. I don't remember the unit. 11.25 meters. Okay. So this will be meters. 11.25 meters is greater than 15 root 5 over 4 meters. Okay. Therefore, the pole cannot be carried into the room, okay, or taken into the room. Okay. So this is the answer for the subpart E. Fine. So we have completed answering this question number 11 completely. And thank you for staying with me till the end. I'm Nilanjana Sanyal. I'm an online IB Math EASL and HL level tutor. And I tutor students from both within India and outside India. And I offer both one-on-one and small group online tutoring services to my students. Please give this video a like in case you are liking my explanation. And please do subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you have not subscribed to my channel till now. It will be motivating me to make more math videos for you. And please share this video with your friends so that even they can get benefited by watching this video. And in case you are having any confusion, any queries, please feel free to write to me in the comment section. I'll be answering your queries as much as possible. And we meet again very soon when we'll be solving the last question of this paper. So till then, bye.